You know that I'm a meditation teacher and that I've been teaching meditation for a long time, 50 years now. I learned to meditate when I was 19 years old. I thought I'd just take a minute right now to do a quick live stream with everybody and address the issue of what is different about the meditation that I teach and other meditation techniques out there. So what I teach is called Turning Within Meditation. You can Google that, or you can just find me on the internet and so forth. Just Google my name. But I want to give you a very brief distinction between how I teach it and what I teach and what most of the other meditation techniques out there involve. Because those of you who have tried to meditate very often will come to me and they'll say, it's impossible. I can't meditate. It's too difficult. Because most meditation techniques involve what? They involve focusing the mind, controlling the mind, concentrating on a thought or a candle or a mandala, a visual image, trying to blank the mind, trying to clear the mind of thoughts. Those are the most common types of meditation techniques out there. Even focusing on your breathing and counting breaths or trying to use the breath in a way that somehow can calm you down. Those are the most common meditation techniques out there. And of course, many of you have probably tried apps that are out there that are guided meditations, and they're guiding you through and so forth. Even a guided meditation, as easy as some of the guided meditations can be, involves some control, because obviously you have to pay attention to the guided meditation. Otherwise, it's not guided, right? So paying attention in that vigilant kind of way is a form of controlling the mind in the way I define controlling in this very, very broad sense, the way I define it. What I teach is very, very different from that. And the analogy I want to share with you, I came up with this analogy fairly recently. Again, I've been teaching meditation for 50 years in 64 countries now, taught thousands of people. So recently for me is like in the last few years, I came up, maybe right before COVID, I came up with this analogy. And our mind is like a ship, a big, huge ship with a big deck on it. And on that deck, can kind of visually imagine this, are about 100 or 200 deck chairs. And the deck chairs in the analogy are analogous to our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, visual images we may have, special kind of pleasant thoughts that we may have or unpleasant thoughts, patterns that we may have in our emotions, all of that. Those are represented by the deck chairs. Most techniques out there and most approaches to helping us from a mental and emotional standpoint, whether they're meditation techniques or other forms of therapy and so forth, which can be helpful, by the way, but most of those approaches are doing what? In my analogy, they're rearranging the deck chairs. They're rearranging the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings and maybe the emotional patterns. Maybe they're getting rid of some of the broken deck chairs, you know, the thoughts that really don't serve us well, or the patterns that don't serve us, and they may actually cause us psychological or emotional harm. So those kind of techniques will get rid of those. And it's, as I said, there's some benefit to that. But the difference between what I teach and that is the control issue. And by not controlling and manipulating the deck chairs on the deck, instead what I do is teach my students how to expand the deck, make the deck bigger. Imagine the deck, and imagine, again, reminder, the deck is our mind, right? So we're expanding our conscious capacity of our mind 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 100 times bigger than it is. What does that do? That makes it easier to have more organized thought, clearer thinking, maybe less harmful thinking, because we feel freer. The mind, the conscious capacity of our mind is so much bigger You that way feel freer automatically, feel more confident, feel more grounded inside. So that's the approach that I take. Again, I'm not throwing water on the other meditation techniques or other mental processes that involve dealing with the deck chairs, because as I said, it can be somewhat helpful and somewhat beneficial. But wouldn't it be even more beneficial to expand our conscious capacity, to make the deck bigger? And that's quite frankly why so many psychotherapists and psychologists and counselors and so forth refer clients to me, because when I'm helping their clients expand their conscious capacity, then the therapy works better. Moving the deck chairs, getting rid of the broken ones and so forth. But that's the approach that most other meditation techniques take. And when the meditation technique has the objective, and if you've taken any other meditation classes, their objective will be the same as what I said. They'll say, we want to expand our conscious capacity, expand our consciousness, expand our mind. They'll use different phrases like that. And yet the technique itself is limiting the mind. It's focusing the mind. It's constricting and concentrating the mind on a particular thing, whether it's the breath, whether it's a mandala, whether it's a mantra, whether it's a pleasant thought, and trying to replace, unpleasant thoughts with pleasant thoughts. Those are manipulations of the mind. Manipulating the mind causes our mind to contract, not expand. So again, that's the fundamental difference between what I teach and what other meditation techniques involve. And as a result, what I teach, Turning Within Meditation, allows the mind in this very easy, natural way to expand its capacity, to naturally expand its capacity without any forcing. It just automatically wants to expand its capacity if we get out of our own way, if we do not try to control our minds. That will be the natural tendency of the mind, is to what? Is to turn within and expand its conscious capacity. So I hope that helps give you a little kind of short summary way of looking at turning within meditation, the way I teach it, and other meditation techniques out there. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.